Scott, we will go to the court and I will film you. And forget playing a pickup game. You could just shoot open threes. You're going to miss 45.
I won't miss 45 out of 63s. I just played like last week. There's no way in the world. I'll come out of retirement and prove to anybody I won't miss 45 out of 63s. In a regular pickup game, no. No, I won't.
Forget a pickup game. Let's get some horns because it's about to be I don't want to get the horns right now. But we're about to have a wager. So Scott, we're gonna go to the gym. And you're gonna shoot 63s. We're gonna film this. And if
I miss 45 of them, yeah, I'm there. Let's go. I'll take 60 shots, and I guarantee I won't miss 45 of them.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.
I can't, man. I can't with you, man. I cannot with you.
Wow. Hey, I'm sorry.
So I'll say this, right?
Oh, wait. Hold on, Scott. Hold on. Let's get a proper intro. Let's get it. This off the record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
I don't even want to go to it.
What up? Hey, hold on. We got a guest today, Joe Big Dog Wilson. What's going on, man?
Hold on. Scotty, will you please tell your co-host that intro just now, what he just did, that's exactly the person that he is, Scotty. You see that?
But you want to know what? I got to own up to I didn't hit 60 shots. So he crushed me in the 3-point shootout. But what he left out was the 3 times we played one-on-one.
That wasn't the bet. But we can get to that in a second.
Yeah, but hold on. That was a bet. We just didn't.
There wasn't no bet for one-on-one. I never bet for one-on-one.
We did on the phone.
No, we did not bet for one-on-one. We both said we were not playing one-on-one.
But no, that's after we came to our senses.
Yeah. So,
but all right. That's so it's a tie, right? So he won the shootout, but I also won 3 games of one-on-one in a row.
Oh my God.
I'm
gonna let him have the one-on-one, but I didn't play any defense.
I told him I was gonna beat him by 5, and 2 of those games I beat him by 5.
Hey, just for the record, everybody, he was warm from shooting all those bricks from them threes, and I let him shoot while I was hurt. I was tired, my back was hurting. Listen, I'm not in playing shit right now.
Joe, is that an excuse?
No, we wasn't supposed to play one-on-one, Joe. We weren't supposed to play one-on-one.
No, wait a minute, Rondell. Wait just a minute, Rondell. When we was on that phone call, everybody's on that call.
Yep.
You got into you got emotional and you said, you know what? We can play one-on-one too.
Absolutely.
Hey,
hold on.
Listen,
I was on the call.
Joe, can I tell you?
Sir?
Me and Scott had multiple conversations after that when we both calmed down and said, but this is before we had the shootout, before Memorial Day. We both said we ain't playing no one-on-one. I was like, I don't want to play one-on-one. I just want to have the shootout, which we did. I shot just for clear, I didn't put it on the intro, but I didn't shoot 60 times. I think I shot. It wasn't even 59 because we stopped after a while because it was just ridiculous. I had 18, right, and it could have been more, but But
hold on, because we ain't gonna let you off the hook. Because
I'll play that intro again.
But hold on, you can play the intro. But everybody remembers he had one of those moments, right? And Joe, did I tell him I was going to beat him by 5?
Hey, Scott.
But hold on, because you had your moment. You got to do your cute little video.
Oh, it was cute.
You got to do your cute little video. But did I not tell him I was going to beat him by 5? Went to 7. 2 of the games. Beat him by 5.
I don't even remember the scores. By 4. But look, can I tell y'all something? I didn't have a care in the world. After that, after he proved me right, it didn't matter. So nothing that happened. So again, he did win. He did win. And I can tell you one thing. I can tell you 2 things. First thing, he was hot when he lost that shootout. He was on fire. He was on fire.
You know what? Hold on. I gotta explain this for the people, right? Because the people probably don't know this. Ever since that clip, I went into the gym and have been practicing, and basically counting out my shots. Not one time did I hit below 15 shots. Every time that I went in there, and I said, now on the camera, the moment got entirely too bright for me. The moment and the pressure
he was on
got to me. So I was so irate when I looked at Ant. I say, you know what? I want to kick this motherfucker ass. And what am I? I was like,
I just want to let everybody know this. I want to let everybody know this because if we were just playing 1-on-1 and not shooting, that wouldn't have happened. I tried to tell this man, shooting, you're gonna get tired. And shooting 60 shots, I don't care how much you ain't been playing that long to be like, yo, I'm gonna shoot these. He was getting tired, and you can tell by his jumpers.
You know what it was? On Friday, I went in there and I shot.
Oh my God.
So I did 60 shots.
Okay.
From every spot that I was supposed to shoot.
Okay.
I woke up Saturday morning, my hand was sore. You're right. I did get tired from shooting, but I was like, you know what? I got to do this. I got to own up to this. But long story short, though, I am officially retired. I was sore the entire week after those 3 games.
Oh,
it got bad, man.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna get to the NBA Finals. We're gonna get to NFL OTAs and the Steelers and all the things that's going on. We're gonna get to the commissioner talking about the All-Star game. Now is gonna be NBA versus the world. We'll get everybody's opinions on that. But before we get to that, there's a reason why Joe's here, right? He ain't here just for giggles, you know. He's lucky he's here right now, you know, because I was about to drive down to Atlanta.
I gotta take over this segment, right? Because
thank you, Scott.
From an outsider, you
know,
not really an outsider, but outside perspective. I just got to outline.
I'm just letting that home, and before you even get. We inviting the people to family business right here. We normally don't even let outside information get onto the show, but you know what? It has to happen. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. Scott, the floor is yours.
You see that, Scott? That's it. That's how it goes right there. That's how it goes.
Now we're gonna play victim.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. All right, go ahead, Scott. You can set the table.
I'm gonna set the table, right? So look, everybody knows we play in these Madden leagues, right?
Yes.
So currently, well, each of you guys play in one. I play in two Madden leagues. There's 2 Madden leagues, right? There's the My Brother Keeper League and there's the NWO. My Brother Keepers League is the league that we first started. Basically, you know, we're all GMs, play the computer, and we play against each other, right? So we normally in the Madden League advance, and that means move to the next week in the season, maybe 2 times, right? A day, just depending on people's work schedule.
Right.
So we've got this NWO League, which Ant is the commissioner of the MBK League, and Joe is the commissioner of the NWO League, right? So the NWO League, it's a little bit faster pace. You know, the guys don't like to really sit around too much. So pretty much they like to get to it, like to get to business. Sometimes they'll advance 2 times. Sometimes they'll advance 4 times. Just depends on the situation. So Ant and myself probably, I want to say maybe about 3 weeks ago, decided that we were going to join Joe's League, right? So we get over to Joe's League, and it's a little bit different. It's like, look, if you can't advance, we're advancing for you. You know, we're not slowing down the league for anything. Take your butt on auto. This is what it is. So, you know, we get in the league, and it's an adjustment. It was an adjustment for myself. I think it was an adjustment for my good buddy Ant. Joe's like, look, man, hey, look, these are the rules. You guys know what you signed up for, right? So I could tell Joe was getting a little frustrated because he sent my good buddy Ant a warning.
No, he didn't.
So hold on, I'm about to get into this. I'm about to get into this, right? He sent you a warning. Then he sent myself a warning and said, hey, look, you're not necessarily running like Ant, but you're kind of close, right? Don't be habitual. So I was like, oh, shit. I was like, okay, let me, you know, typed up a little message and, you know, said like, all right, you know, on be good. That night, Ant was kicked out of NWO. Now, it was
the middle of the night. Actually.
In the middle of the night. So, me and Ant, and we just kind of saw Ant, decided that since he was kicked out of Joe's league, that Joe could remove himself from his league. Now, I'm just going to say this, right? I know how petty Ant is. It probably, I'll say next to me, and he might have surpassed me, can be one of the pettiest individuals of all time. Just literally, I think he likes to just get people back. And like he lives for his get back. And really, I'm just gonna be honest, right? This beef between Joe and Ant is probably one of the dumbest beefs I have ever seen, right? Because I've never seen a beef to where the two individuals don't have a problem with each other, but for whatever reason, they just both stand on business for whatever reason, right? So, you know, I invited Joe to the show. You know, Ant welcomed him with open arms because there is no beef. How do we get here, folks? You know what I mean? How do we really get here? So, you know, I'm going to let Joe tell his side of the story first, and then we're going to circle back.
You got 30 seconds.
Okay, well, the short 30-second answer. You got one owner who runs his league off of emotions. That's why his name is, he will now forever be known as Antonino Carl Adebayo. And when I say Antonino, you know, that just comes in, you know, it's nothing, you know. But Nino Brown, you know Nino Brown, Scotty, right? Antonino.
Yeah. I know Nino. Nino.
That's what we're doing. So, you know, I didn't do nothing in MBK to get kicked out. So I wasn't habitual in MBK. So, you know, I just thought it was, you know, I thought it was all love. I thought that man could be able to take, I thought he was going to be able to take the, you know, the little, you know, getting kicked out and then it just, but hey, man, Ant is my guy. That's I'm telling you that. I did not do anything to get kicked out of MBK. That man told me pack my stuff up immediately. He was so adamant. He said, save me the time. He didn't even want to kick me out. He was like, you save me the time and you get your stuff and get out.
So I agree, right? And we'll let Ant tell his side, but it was definitely an emotional decision.
No.
All right.
Can I
go? Yeah, you have the floor. Right?
All right. Okay. So just for clarity, they say in the league when we signed up for the league, when he created the league, it was, well, we ain't gonna wait. If you don't play a game, we gonna sim the game. We gonna skip it. It is so that was that. Also, there was never one time where it was said, if you don't play a game, we're gonna kick you out the game. I mean, out the league, right? It was never stated.
Okay, so I can agree with you.
So it was never stated. So then, I was active in the league. So earlier that day, you and I had a game. We played our game. The day before, mind you, I mean, I was super. I played my game. I made some trades right before the trade deadline. I'm trying to build this team that I got. That was a sorry team that I was trying to rebuild and everything. So then the next day, the day that there was an issue. Let me go back a little bit. That previous day, I was having internet issues with Verizon, and I let everybody know it. And MBK. Now we all was in MBK, so we saw it. We all was in there chatting, whether people were busy or not. It was what it was. So then I had to, because I knew I was playing you. I had to use my phone as a hotspot because I'm trying to be resourceful, make sure whatever. So that following morning, I was trying to play my MBK game. And because I didn't have the game to play in NWO because I played you and we hadn't advanced yet. So I tried to play the game while my phone was my hotspot. It was cutting off. So I said, whatever, had to wait for Verizon to open up. I called Verizon. I was on the phone with Verizon from 8:30 to 3:30, right? Mind you, I had to go to football practice. So I was even late to football practice, all right? So I didn't have any internet pretty much the whole day, so I couldn't do anything in NWO or MBK. Once I got back home, because we had a function for the incoming freshmen, and what I did was I stayed, talked to the parents, boom, boom, boom. Got home about 10:30, finished my game in MBK, which was against the Chiefs. Finished my game. After that, I had to play one of our good friends, Rock. You know Rock, right, Joe?
I sure do.
Okay. So I had to play Rock, who was the Jets. It was the Eagles versus the Jets. I hate that I had to even say that on live. But anyway, I played that game, or I watched that game because he was the home champ. I watched that game. Had to do my training, of course. So I was watching that game. After that game, I went to bed, because I was tired. Started a group call in MBK because my game was getting ready to be played. They for whatever reason, they like to listen to me watch the game while my game is being played because sometimes I may or may not crash out. It's just, you never know. Nonetheless, after that, I went to bed. And I said, I'll take care of NWO in the morning. Now, during that time, there was an event at I think about 5:30 p.m. Wasn't home. Then there was another event at 9:30 p.m. I wasn't home, right? Again, I didn't complain or do anything. I didn't do anything. So again, the preference of the league is if you don't play your game, we gonna sim it, and that'd be that. So again, my thought was, all right, I'm gonna take care of my game in the morning because I'm tired. I wake up the next morning, go down, turn the game on, and it said you've been banned from the league.
All right, so let's stop right.
Whoa,
let's stop right there. Okay. So, Joe, and this is something that I've been meaning to ask you, and I think everybody wants to know. Mm-hmm. What made you kick Ant out of the league?
Well, it was two reasons, and one was when you
take your time.
Y'all wanted to join. One of the main things was I'm not going to chase y'all to play y'all games, right? So that was one. That was one of them. Then number two was that he left out of all his drawn out thesis. Was he did all that. He like I said, He did all that on in his league. He came over to NWO and did his training.
And I went to bed. Then I went to bed.
Got it. He did his training, and then I ain't see. But before that, he was on a call. They was on a call, chickling and chuckling. I even put in the MBK league. I put a text that said,
"Didn't see it."
I said MFers is over here sniggling and giggling when they could be playing their game. Right.
I didn't see it, or I would have responded to it. Hey, but hold on. So before I even get to that, right now, tell me if I'm right or wrong, Scott. We've heard plenty times said Abdul, who's another person in both leagues, say, "Yo, when Joe says tags, yo, Ab, I just go ahead and play my game." Is that right or wrong?
Yeah, that's right.
At any of those times, did Joe ever say, "Yo, Ant"? Yes or no? Did he ever say, "Yo, Ant, you gotta play your game"? Just that last 48 hours. You know, it don't have to be.
Yeah. I said, Ant, what we doing?
When?
It's in the NWO chat because you responded about what? But see, you was at
watching my game, right? Was I yes or no?
Yes, it was about your game, and you was out doing your thing. So I was just like, okay, that's the stuff I don't want to have to do. So yeah,
I do the Ab all the time. Matter of fact, I got confirmation that Ab just played his game. I want to say it was either Monday night or last night, and he hadn't played since Saturday.
No, hold on. You let now.
I don't care.
Hey,
I don't care.
Stop letting Rock TMZ. Stop letting Rock TMZ give you this false information. I told the guys I knew y'all was in the playoffs, the offs in MBK, so we'll move accordingly. So when y'all had the playoffs and the draft.
So Joe, so we could close this out.
Okay.
Did I or did I not deserve a phone call, a text, or some sort of tag before I was released out of the league?
You absolutely did.
All right.
But did I deserve to be kicked?
So back to that. All right, I'm glad you brought that up. Now, with that being said, I was just talking. I was never going to kick you out the league. I was, and everybody knows it. Joe, I done said worse things to Joe before, and he said, "Kiss my ass." And now all of a sudden, a Wednesday or Thursday morning, you want to get all emotional and say, "Oh,
I didn't get emotional."
He told me to leave. I said, "Give me 10
minutes."
In Joe's defense, it was a very mild manner debate, right? But it seemed like
I thought it was a lame move.
No, but hold on. When you two were talking back and forth, again, it wasn't an argument because you guys were going back and forth. It was a healthy debate, but it seemed to be, or appeared to be from the outside, a serious debate. Okay. So I could see why Joe would think, because you were legitimate mad, which once you explained to me why you were mad, because you had built up the team.
Hey, they was in the NFC Championship game too.
Yeah, so I do understand why you were mad. Looking at it, I was like, okay, well, maybe he wanted to get kicked out. But when you explained, like, hey man, I've put effort, I've made some trades, I've bettered this team. This team is on the right path, and right when I get them right where I need them, I get booted from the league. So I do recognize that, and I'll say this too, right? So Joe, everybody kind of jumped to your defense, and
it was crazy. And it was crazy.
Everybody jumped to your defense, and and he's a human too. He has feelings, and I think he felt a little bit like, dang, everybody is like, yo, Ant, let Joe back in, or accommodate Joe, and nobody, went to you and asked the same gratitude to be able to come in the NWO. So all that being said, how do we move forward between you two? Because I think the MBK is definitely a better league when you're in the league, because it makes the NFC a lot more competitive, and you're a good player. And I think he wants to still be part of the NWO. So how do we move forward? You guys just severed ties, or can we see like some sort of
And we cool. Ed talked to Ed called me today. So we cool. My plan is to come back in 26 to be part of the new regime. So, if he have me back, I'll come back for sure. If I won't bring no luggage or nothing this time. I just come back and have 2 or 3 outfits or whatever. But Scotty, you go back, you got Nino and G Money. You got Osiris and his brother Set. You know what we know what Kane did to Abel.
Hey yo, what?
Everybody know the story of Rich and Poe, right? So you see Nino in this picture behind me. He got tears and he emotional. Hey, don't be running the league emotionally. Run it. Stand on business.
I don't never run anything emotional. I don't listen. I don't make decisions off of emotion. I'll tell you that right now. You made that decision.
Man
told me get my stuff and get the hell on, Scott.
Oh, I saw the message.
Yeah,
and
and I told him give me 10 minutes.
And you took more. And you took way more than 10 minutes.
And he had 10 minutes to say, Joe, I was just, I was just talking.
Good and damn well I wasn't going. Anyway, enough for that.
So we got to talk about Coach Tips being fired.
Damn, we going there now?
We have to, because I think it's a 30-minute conversation.
Okay. I don't know if it's 30.
Well,
minutes.
It's not
we
30.
Give it 30 minutes.
We got to get to the finals too.
Yeah, we'll give them 5.
Okay.
So Coach Tibbs was fired by the Knicks after taking the Knicks the furthest they've been in 25 years. They haven't gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals, North Finals since 2000. And he was let go. I personally think it was a bad move. You're the Knicks fan here. You know.
So I will agree with you. He overachieved. Because even Knicks fans and even myself, seeing us in the conference finals, I don't think many people outside of Knicks fans thought that we were going to beat Boston, right?
Okay.
So I feel like in that essence, he overachieved. On the flip side of it, I don't think there was anything that he could have done beyond winning a championship to keep his job. I do believe
crazy.
I do believe. Well, as I've thought about this, and I've been thinking about this, he's failed in multiple areas. Now, he's definitely improved the Knicks. The Knicks are a lot better than they've ever been under him. You cannot deny that.
Right.
But his inability to develop young talent, we kind of saw that. His inability to play more than 8 guys. And I think Kenny Smith might have put the nail in his coffin a little bit with, saying that even at a baseball game, he would have struggled to play 9 players if he was coaching baseball. And the fact of the matter is the Eastern Conference finals is not the time to be tinkering with your lineup. Some of those guys that ended up having to play because Indiana was running us out the gym because guys were exhausted. So he had no choice but to play guys. But had he been playing them throughout the season, those guys could have had more experience, might have been more prepared. He would have figured out what lineups work better. And that wouldn't have been the first time that some of those guys were playing with each other. So when I look at Leon Pope-Stant, right, he probably is looking like, okay, I've given you all the talent. Yeah, I've given up a lot of draft. Well, talent-wise, and there's some questionable roster moves, but starting 5-wise, it's a legitimate starting 5, right?
Okay.
If you feel like you've surrounded and you've given a coach all the resources and they're still not figuring out how to get more out of that situation, that could put you on the chopping block. And Leon Poe may think in his mind Rose. I'm sorry, I keep saying Leon Poe. I don't know why I keep saying
because he used to play for Boston.
Yeah, but I don't know why I was thinking. But anyway, he might feel like I could bring in another coach that is going to coach because let's be real. Rick Carlisle coached circles around him, and these aren't problems that just started with the Eastern Conference Finals. Right. These are problems that existed last year, the year before, and his unwillingness to really change and adapt. I mean, people have been telling, "Hey, Tibbs, play more people. Hey, Tibbs, make the adjustments." He lived by his stubborn way, and unfortunately, it cost him his job. Now, with that being said, I don't know who we can bring in that's going to be instantly better than him. I think maybe they should have probably talked to him in the offseason, like, look, you need to make these changes.
Right.
If you don't make these changes, we're going to part ways with you. It's also got to be tough. He's on the hook for a $30 million extension.
Right.
You know, him and Leon Rose, they're good friends, you know. Yeah. So for him to sever ties with him, that had to be tough, man.
So, Joe, what you got?
That was NWO worthy.
Oh,
yeah. But no, I don't. I think that they shouldn't have fired Tibbs. You can talk that can be fixed if it was just about rotations and playing, you can fix that. But to get that team back to the Eastern Conference Finals, it's going to take a lot more than that. Without him, because that now you got to bring in a new coach, new philosophy, new chemistry, new respect for you. Is this guy you gonna bring in earning respect? Who you bringing in?
They're gonna have to bring in some sort of championship level coach. You can't.
Where are you gonna find them?
I mean, Malone is out there.
You got Malone, but so on the flip side too, Bronson and Towns was not guarding nobody. Like, that's not coaching. You know what I mean? That's I mean, legitimately, Bronson was giving up. I mean, shoot, 60% of whatever was shot on him. I mean, so that's not coaching.
I feel like it seems like a scapegoat type move, right? I feel like somebody got to get blamed. Who's gonna be the blame for them? And let's be real. Rick Carlisle is one of the best coaches if not the best, right? But the Pacers have been playing. They've had one of the best records since the turn of the new year. So I don't think them losing to the Pacers in 6. I mean, I can understand. You was up 20 and you gave up that lead. But it's not like we've never seen that before. It's been happening all playoffs.
What happened all
the
series before?
It's the NBA. Runs happen. So I feel like he was the scapegoat. It was easy to say, let's blame Tibbs. Now, I agree. They should have used their bench a little bit more, right? But everybody knows that. That's like Joe said.
But that was apparent. But that was apparent. Well, it's too easy of a fix. And that was apparent after game 1. Everybody and their mother saw it, and they was like, yo, the Pacers about to run the Knicks out the gym. They're fast, they're young, they play together. And in all honesty, when I look at the Knicks starting 5, I feel like they had the better starting 5. But did they have the better team? Did they have the better team chemistry? No. And it was apparent after game 1 that if we were going to compete with the Pacers, we were going to have to make those adjustments where our rotation, we're going to have to make some defensive adjustments to figure out how we could slow down their shooting. I mean, I can't think of the guy's name, but
Neesmith.
I mean, Jesus.
But that was really only one game. That was game 1 where he went berserk. I think he got hurt in game 3 because he killed my parlay. I mean, he was integral to them. I think this is his second year. He's not a rookie. I can't remember. Anyway, but I know he's a young guy. I mean, even Obi, who came from New York.
They got remind everybody absolutely. Every play that he came from New York.
They got production out of their bench. Like, I mean, they're gonna need it. And I don't know if that takes us to the finals. Right, they going against OKC now. Again, I believe that styles make fights. Right, clearly, the way the Knicks are built right now, they can't beat the Pacers. Right, that's 2 years in a row that they've lost to the Pacers.
So let me say this: everybody in the East has to be leery of the Pacers. The Pacers are the Pacers are the team to beat now. And a lot of people have been doubting them. But I told people, watch the Pacers. And I've been telling people all playoffs, like that team is the team in the East. Mm-hmm. Now, Boston, will they come back as strong with Jason Tatum after he recovers? That remains to be seen. Milwaukee, they've got a new ownership group. They're going to probably come in and look and see that they've got basically $600 million tied up in cap space. I mean, Miami, we see where they're at. I mean, you got Cleveland. I mean, they're right there. But if you look at it, Indiana, I mean, they beat them pretty convincingly. They had injuries.
They had injuries,
But I mean, with Indiana, up until the Knicks series, it was like, but I don't know. I don't know. Now they've got a legitimate chance
to do what?
I wouldn't.
They're not beating OKC. Let's do it.
So look, they're not going to beat OKC, but I think they match up with OKC, the best out of the teams in the East.
Okay,
I think from a purist fan perspective, both teams space, both teams run, both teams play good fundamental basketball.
Indiana don't play defense like OKC though.
I don't think nobody plays
defense. And OKC, listen, I said a couple weeks ago that OKC wouldn't lose 2 more games in the playoffs. And they beat Minnesota in 5, right? So they still haven't lost those 2 games.
So they ain't gonna sweep them.
No. I mean, it could be, I said at the most 6.
No, I think we may go to 7 games.
We're not going to 7 games.
Because I want to tell you, if I'm Rick Carlisle, this is what I do, and this is my strategy. I muddy the game. They
don't know how to play like that though.
They play too fast. They
better learn.
They better learn.
Look, Phil got Indy in 7.
What I would do is they're going to have to pick Shea up full court. They're going to have to beat them up. They're going to have to bruise them. They're going to have to just.
Well, this is what OKC is going to do. They're gonna put Dort on Halliburton, and Halliburton ain't gonna score like he ain't scored in the regular season either. He's gonna struggle to get points because Dort is all defense for a reason. And if you can put him on your point guard, that team is in trouble.
If Indiana plays strong defense, does not turn the ball over, and continues to run like they're running, they have a fighter's chance in this matchup. Now, we've both been on the record and we've said it from the beginning. OKC is the best team in the NBA right now. It wasn't even close. Now, as a Knicks fan, I was going to still root for my Knicks, but OKC has been the best team in the NBA all year.
Okay. Who you got game 1?
I'm going to go Indiana.
Hold your thought. Joe, who you got game 1?
Where they playing at?
OKC. Yeah, and I got OKC as well. Now, Scott, the floor is yours. I want to hear why you got Indiana.
I think Indiana's playing with house money. And I think that right now, the problem with Indiana, well, it's not even the problem. Mm-hmm. We continue to count them out. And for whatever reason, they figure out how to get it done. And I mean, it's been every step of the way in the playoffs because let's be real. A lot of people did not have them beating Milwaukee. Like most people thought that they were going to beat.
I did. Milwaukee didn't have Dame.
They didn't have Dame, but a lot of people.
I watched Indiana beat the brakes off of it. I've been watching Milwaukee lose to Indiana for the last 2 years, and people ain't even realize. Like Indiana been kicking Milwaukee's ass. Well, in season 2, when I went to that game, I went in there thinking, man, Milwaukee's gonna destroy Indiana. and they couldn't do nothing with the Pacers. And the Pacers all year, they're better now than they were that season. But
I think last year it took Siakam a little bit of time to gel with the team.
Yeah,
but everybody on Indiana, they know their roles.
Correct.
They play loose, pause, but they go into the game, they've got like a lot of confidence, right? Like you see TJ McConnell, you think he's Jason Kidd out there, but they have the confidence to shoot. They have the green light to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
They play with each other. Now, with that being said,
I'm sorry. I'll grow up.
Yeah, you gotta grow up. I do some commentating, but with that being
each other, that was crazy. No, but I'm sorry. My bad. So, I don't know. I think the game is close early, but I think this is the only chance that Indiana has is they take OKC's crowd out of the game. If they could take OKC's crowd out the game, I think they're gonna have a chance. Now, if they down 20, I'm still not gonna say this game is over, but I'm gonna be like, OKC ain't New York or Boston. I don't see Indiana cutting that lead because this team, OKC, if they might be the best defensive team in the league.
You asked me a question, or you asked the group a question earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
You said, "Are you taking Shea or 06 Dwayne Wade?"
Mm-hmm.
So at first glance, I said Shea. Now I went on YouTube.
That was crazy. I
went on YouTube.
And you said Shea very, very quick without even thinking about it.
I went on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I watched highlights from the 06 playoffs with Dwayne Wade. And I was reminded of a couple of things. Yeah, that year in the playoffs, in that Dallas series, he took over that series.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to pick one. So Shea's got like a lot of upside, and I think that's why I was leaning to him.
Okay.
But that Dwayne Wade 06.
Right.
Which one are you taking?
Yeah, well, first of all, it was for me to let's ask Joe since his punk ass wanted to lead the group.
There is no great 06 Wade?
06 Wade, yeah.
No, there's no way. Nobody was better than him. And if the playoff run, but that year he had a magical year.
He did. Now I agree. I agree. So 06 Wade is a bad dude. So, but here's the thing with Shea, they both play defense, right? But D Wade was better defensively to me. I think their 3-point shots is similar. I think Shea don't shoot that great from three. And if I had to give it I'd probably give it to Shea, but attacking the basket, I'm giving that to D Wade all day, every day. It's 06 D Wade. Shea is
Dwayne Wade could get to a spot. Anywhere he wanted to get on the floor, he got to, whether that was the basket, whether that was his jump shot, mid-range, or whatever. But
he wasn't the greatest three.
Offensively, I gotta give the edge to Shea. Offensively,
he averaged. Let's say averaged 32 this year.
Yeah, I don't think Dwayne Wade has ever averaged 32.
I probably not, but he was scoring a lot of points. I would overall. All right, offensively, I give it to Shea. Defensively, I give it to D Wade. Attacking the basket, I get at the D Wade.
So I'll say this. I want to recant my statement.
I'm going with 06 D Wade.
I got to go with 06 D Wade, but here's my alibi. I think it's too early to compare Shea to 06 Wade.
Why?
I think
Shea been in the league like 7 years.
This is why. I think for them to even be in the same stratosphere, he's got to win this championship. I think if he wins this,
he's gonna win the championship.
Well,
we'll see what his finals like compared to D Wade's finals.
Because if he loses this championship, which I don't think he will, but if he loses, then it's really not a conversation because 06 Wade
won the championship
and he would have got it done against this Indiana team.
I agree. What about what you think?
I mean, I understand that, and maybe it is too early, but yeah, you're right. If he, he got other teammates. Wade had other teammates but I don't know about him averaging 32. He really didn't have to.
Yeah. And
well, basketball was played a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like you see even during the playoffs, and I hate to do this, but when Wade and them was playing in a playoff game, teams rarely went over 100 points.
No, stop it, Scott. No, I'm not going to let you do it. In 06, if you would have said like 98, I would have like, all right, cool. Not in 06. That was,
Well, 98 and 06 ain't that far apart. Like definitely in the 90s. So in the 90s, them teams wasn't getting out the 80s.
Say that again.
In the 90s, those teams wasn't getting out the 80s. The 2000s, 2010s, yeah, I say 100. I mean, now you got teams putting up 130 in the playoffs. Like you got teams putting up 120. Those were regular.
I recant my statement. You're right. But they played good defense.
What was the stats say? What does the stats say?
What, you were talking about points? Oh, he got to it. But I'm talking about as far as the team scoring. Like in Game 6, he had 36. But in Game 5, he had 43. In Game 4, he had 36. In Game 3, he had 42. Yo, what?
Yeah, he was getting to it.
So, and those were all Heat wins. You remember they lost the first 2 games, and Jason Terry had 20. Had 32. Dirk had 26. Let me look at. Hold on one second, yo. So yeah, but with that being said, from what you were saying, the scores. These are the scores of the 6 games. 90 to 80, 99, 85, 98, 96, 98, 74, 101 to 100, and 95 to 92. So, I mean, what you were saying was correct. They didn't, they had scorers on each team, but they didn't have a team full of scorers. Shaq wasn't, I don't think Shaq was really making a whole lot of noise. I mean, let me not say that. As far as point-wise, he wasn't like scoring like 30 and 10 like he did with the Lakers.
No, I think when he first got to the Heat, he was dominant. But I think at some point he realized, and him and Zoe realized, like, look, we got to let this young fella cook. And when they turned over the reins to D Wade, it was just like, yeah.
Hey, look, hey, in what game was this? In Game 5, right? That was the game with the most points. It was 101 to 100. Hey, I mean, D Wade had 43, right? D Wade had 43. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, D Wade had 43. Shaq had 18. James Posey had 10. Jason Williams had 9. Udonis Haslem had 2. Antoine Walker had 6. Gary Payton had 8. Shandon Anderson had 4, and Alonzo Mourning had 1.
I bet how many fouls Udonis had? I bet he had some fouls in there.
Udonis Haslem, he fouled out.
Yeah, I knew it. He gonna foul somebody. He may not be
he had 6. Shaq had 5, and James Posey had 5. Gary Payton had 4.
But I'll tell you one thing about AD, right? He used to hit that baseline jump shot.
Yeah.
He was good for that baseline jump shot. But yeah, it's I think the debate is over 06 Wade. He posed another question.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna tell y'all now. This is gonna get the people going. This is gonna get the people going.
All right. So Ant asked today, Joker,
25 Joker.
25 Joker versus, was it 02 or 01
Shaq.
Shaq.
Man.
Uh-oh. What you got? What you got, Joe?
I want to hear from you, Joe. Who you got in that matchup?
01 Shaq. So that means they won the title when?
They won in 01? They won it, was it
2000,
2000, yeah, 01. Okay. I'm going Shaquille O'Neal. There was not a more dominant person in the NBA then, and it ain't one now.
Damn.
In that run.
Damn.
So I will agree with you, right, Joe? I will agree that there was there was no other dominant player. I don't think the NBA has seen a more dominant player than Shaq during that span with the Lakers. But I almost feel like we're slighting Joker, just like we're not recognizing his greatness. I was looking at the comments today, and I'm just going to tell you, Joker can arguably go down or end up being possibly the greatest big man to ever play the game of basketball.
Okay.
I mean, people, we can hate on the international players.
I don't think it's a hate on international. My thing is this. Joker has a dad bod. They call him the dad bod god, right? Shaq ain't had no dad bod. When Shaq was in 01, Shaq was 300 pounds. He was a muscular dude. He was moving 7-footers and guys bigger than him out the way with ease.
So there's no question there. Like, I feel like whoever gets the ball first, the other person may not see the ball. Like, I don't think that Shaq could guard Joker on the 3-point line, outside, like in any of them places. Mm-hmm. Now, if Shaq gets the ball down low in the post against Joker, he's not going to stop him.
Hey, all right. So this is what I say. I think that, Joe, would you consider David Robinson to be one of the strongest players? Forget that pound for pound in NBA history.
Yeah, David was he was the admiral for a reason. He was in shape.
Yeah,
yeah. So
but he wasn't stronger than Shaq.
Oh, definitely not stronger than Shaq.
I'm not saying that, but pound for pound, I'm saying he's somebody that used to throw cats around, and he's now in 01. David Robinson was a little older, but I mean, Shaq was what, 10 years in at that time. So David Robinson may have been what, 12. Like he was still. I personally feel like Joker would get worn down. So all of that shooting threes, as you would know, your legs get heavy. Yo, come on, man. I'm being serious.
But you're right though. You right though. Shaq could do Joker like Scott did that.
No, you didn't. Oh, I stop. Time out. Stop. All right, now.
You're right.
So this is where. So this is where Scott was wrong. Scott, that's you right here. And he will tell you when Scott tried to go in the post, he said, "You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take those free jumpers that you gave me, because no, you tried to go in the post, and it was dead."
So I get on this right. So we talk about strength. You know, and he got these bear claws.
Oh my God! God, my hands are regular size.
They're bear claws, right? And look, he touched me in my hip. I don't know if he was trying to get me a handshake.
Oh my God!
I don't know if he's trying to give me a handshake or whatever. He almost dislocated my hip. So I did decide, okay, we're gonna shoot jump shots the rest of the game. I ain't going in the post. But I'm just saying it's dominant, from a dominance.
You didn't dominate. Hey, listen, can I tell y'all something? He's trying to change the narrative.
That's what the difference between Joker and Shaq is right there. People can score points in the paint against the Joker. Nobody. And if you came in the paint against Shaq, you was gonna get hit.
Right.
You was gonna get banged up. So that's the difference. Just like Toya said, right? It's a different game. I don't think you put Joker up against Shaq. That's a bad comparison right there.
Yeah, I think Shaq will wear the Joker down to the point where he probably won't go in the post and he's gonna try and shoot. He's gonna try and shoot threes, and it ain't gonna work. And I think that Shaq will make more twos than Joker can make threes.
So I say this. I say sometimes I become a prisoner of the moment to where I like to appreciate players when as they are now. But then you think back and you start looking. So that sent me down the rabbit hole to where I watched, I think it was the 94 finals or whatnot when Shaq and them played Orlando.
Houston.
95. Houston, 95. 95.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't get as embarrassed as much as I remember. Like, I thought that he got dominated by Olajuwon. But he actually, Olajuwon got the better of him because he swept him.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, he kind of held his own. I mean,
yeah.
It wasn't as, like, I remember I thought he got embarrassed. But he really didn't get embarrassed that much. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is sometimes, like, we get to these prisoner of the moments, and you forget. You're like, well, that wasn't that bad, or this guy used to get buckets, and you just forget about him.
Yeah. So I think that if you look at Shaq, because 95, Shaq was still what? I think he might have been in his third year.
He's been in his fourth year. I think fourth year.
Like, all right, so fourth year.
No, because he came in 92. Yeah, so his third year.
So I mean, and Olajuwon had been in what, 10 years at that time?
So he started in 84, yeah. So
that was like 10, 11 years. And Olajuwon, was Olajuwon MVP that year? I think he did win MVP that year, didn't he? So I mean, what he did to everybody that playoff run, because I remember, again, we bring up David Robinson again. I still remember how he gave him the dream shake. David Robinson jumped, got back on his feet, had him jump again, and it was just like, this is embarrassing. Listen, Olajuwon's footwork is damn near second best.
So you're talking about Shaq is the most dominant. I don't believe there's been a big man that's had the footwork that Olajuwon has had.
Correct.
Or skill set, just skill set in general. His mid-range game, all that stuff was cold.
Or even the way he played defense. I mean, like,
and he played defense.
Blocks. Like, Olajuwon might have been the most versatile center. Well, no, because you got the new age centers. But I believe that Olajuwon could have played in this era the same way. Like, Olajuwon could have ran. Olajuwon could have shot.
I don't know if he was going to shoot the three, though.
He wasn't, but he shot a couple.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's look at some of the big men that's playing right now, right? You got, I guess you could use Chet. I mean, he's a twig, but
I think Chet could play in the previous era. He's got the mindset.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
You got Joker. You have old school. I would say an old school big would be like what's his name? I used to play for the Knicks. Is OKC?
Randall.
No. Well, OKC. Hartenstein.
Yeah.
So he's like the traditional big man. Because if they was playing the Lakers, he would guard Shaq. Whatever. They definitely not putting Chet on Shaq. Even Yao had to put on weight before he became who he. I mean, he was the man, but he was just taller than everybody. But Yao had to put on some weight in order to bang with Shaq and some of them other bigs that was playing at that time. I would say that to not discredit the Joker, I think it would be a close matchup. I think Joker will hold his own, but I think eventually Shaq will wear him out. Yo, relax, yo.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for anybody that is, especially anybody that's watching us right now, that remembers like Shaq during his run and disagree with that. I mean, Shaq was the most dominant. Like for a while, there was nobody in the NBA that could stop Shaq. Only thing you could do was hack a Shaq. That was it.
And he made them when it counted.
Yeah,
he made them when it counted. But
now with Joker, I feel like now there's nobody that can really stop him, and he's got like a different sort of dominance. And I think you brought it up, or somebody brought it up. Everything that he does in Denver, or has to do in Denver.
Yeah,
I mean, if he had a little bit, well, I can't say if he had a little bit more support because he's got a really good team too.
I mean, I don't know. They only won one championship. They only went to one finals. I don't know, man.
Let me ask this. Just wait 1 minute, Rondell. Hey, so how many true bigs are in the NBA right now? True bigs. Because you talking about Chet, and Chet ain't no true big man. That's not.
Matter of fact, he'll shoot a 3 too.
He'll shoot a 3.
That's what the NBA has gone to. They trying to stretch the floor out. They want these power forwards that can shoot 3-pointers.
Absolutely.
So I'll give you somebody I was just thinking about, right? And it's another reason why Tibbs got fired. Mitchell Robinson, right?
You talking about Robes? Oh, my bad. My bad. I should.
He's a terrible person. I told y'all that.
Yeah, that was cold-blooded. But I think of him as like a throwback big man. Kind of reminds me of Marcus Camby a little bit, right? So that's where I was at with like Chet. Like Marcus Camby made a career of it. I think he could have played in that era too. That's good. Oh man. But who else would we consider a true big?
Right now in the NBA right now? Will Miles Turner be considered a true big?
I don't.
Nope. You can't even consider AD a true big.
What?
So I consider AD a true big.
A true big, just you talking about somebody that's just not shooting threes?
AD shooting threes.
I know. I'm just.
But AD has a post game too. I consider AD a true big.
Okay. That's
what about the kid from Houston?
So let me ask this. Let's go back to AD for a second.
Okay.
Let's just minus the injuries. Could we consider him the second best big man in the league right now? Just take the injuries and just focus on him playing.
And some may say if you take away the injuries, he's the best.
Yeah.
So you think he's better than Joker?
I do. No, I don't think AD is.
Listen. But AD plays defense.
AD does play defense.
If AD's not hurt, AD can score 30 a game.
He can score 30 a game.
I mean,
AD can't lift his teammates around him to play at another level.
Now that I will agree there.
And Joker, those guys will match Joker's hustle.
Well, right now, Joker has to do everything. Joker has to coach.
That's right.
He has to play center, point guard, and small forward. I mean, he got to put everybody in the right. I mean, he got to do absolutely everything. So
let me ask this: can AD play in any era? Because I personally,
have you taken away the injuries?
Yeah,
take away the injuries.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he could too. I mean, he's
well.
That's the only knock is sometimes he just gets hurt.
Yeah, he take plays off.
Well, I mean, he's part of the era that they say is soft. So
Definitely.
You know, it is what it is. All right, real quick before we get out of here, I do want to talk about the Steelers real quick in a quarterback situation. But I think this is the craziest thing in the NFL right now.
You saw a ghost?
It sounded like
he hear my daughter probably open the door.
No, so the Steelers right now have Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and Will Howard as their quarterbacks. Again, they was talking about Aaron Rodgers. Me personally, I would say move on from Aaron Rodgers because I think it's a waste of time, you know, trying to get Aaron, because if whether he wants to play or not don't matter. He ain't here and he has the opportunity to be here. You know, it's a new system, new players, new everything. So it'd be different if this was when was he if this was 2014 in Green Bay and he wasn't at any of the offseason stuff, but he's been there since whatever and he shows up. That's different than now. You don't know. Yeah, you're playing catch with DK Metcalf, but I don't know. I personally still think they have some sort of handshake agreement, but I would say move on.
I think the Steelers deserve everything that they get out of this situation. They had every opportunity to address their quarterback situation. They let Russell Wilson walk out the door. They let Justin Fields walk out the door. They passed on Shador. And I mean, nah.
Y'all should put the lock on the door sometimes for certain guests, but we'll talk about that.
Hey, Marcus, we gonna, you know what? Y'all want to get Marcus in here to hear what he had to say?
Well, shoot, man, we got business.
We got stuff to do, man. Before I go though, Scott, I just wanted to read a old black Negro.
Oh my gosh, yo.
Before I get out of here, I just want to read to you one of the most important black spiritual Negro hymnals of our generation.
Oh, Jesus.
You might see the picture behind me. Just a few lyrics from this queen right here, Jody Watley. And I quote. It says, friends, they will let you down. Friends, they won't be around. When you need them most of all, where are your friends? Friends are hard to find. Friends, Scotty, yours and mine. Where are your friends, Scotty? And then Rakim came on and spit his little verse and said, you'll be fried in the end when you pretend to be. So, hey, man, it's all love from the dog.
Yo, what's this?
Yo, why I thought he was going to read a real spiritual.
Oh my God!
Jesus,
hey, I don't know. Joe, thank you for joining us today, man. What? That was funny. That was funny. But I think it's time to go. Hey, Mark, we're gonna have Marcus on the show next week.
Definitely.
Because we're gonna revisit this. He has a lot to say, and we're actually gonna give him some time to. His argument is his argument, and I know he disagrees with everything we said because he got this and he said this, and then he also said this. So we're gonna make sure that our good friend Marcus is on the show next week. So again, shout out everybody tuning in. Hey, that was crazy. Hold on one second. This is oh man. But nah, this off the record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy Scotty B.
We out of here.
Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.